All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Tears Tulle Talk, a podcast that's dedicated to celebrating women who are showing up, reconnecting with their color from within the struggles of everyday real life. I am so excited to have two of my favorite people in the whole world here with us today. And I would love the two of you to say a little bit more about yourselves. And let's go ahead and start with Laura.
Well, hello, Gina, and thank you so much for having us. It's such a pleasure to be here and such an honor. So my name is Laura Tempesta. I am a bra expert. I'm the only person in North America with a master's degree in lingerie design. I'm also a sports bra expert. I started a business called Bravolution. It's both an online resource with reviews and information about bras, and it's also the name of my consulting company. I consult with major brands and help them make better bras. So that's me.
Awesome. Yes, my daughter, who's away at school right now, will still talk about her interaction with you when we met last year and about how you changed the way she looks at bras, like for the rest me too, for the rest of our lives. So thank you for letting us know exactly what you do and who you are. And now we'll move on to Lauren.
Hi, can I say I am more nervous than I thought I would be? Like, I feel like the biggest dork right now. Like, I'm kind of like,
I am nervous on every single one of these, and I talk too fast, and it's all just tears and tulle. So
yeah, it's all good. So I'm Lauren Krzyzynski, and I'm a brand and culture manager at a skincare brand called Calvera, and it was founded by a sibling super team who are both cancer survivors. So it's a clean skincare line, super fun. I started it right as the pandemic was hitting, so it's kind of been quite an adventure, but they're wonderful. And I used to freelance for Laura at Bravolution, and we've known each other since 2006?
5.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yes, yeah. at the house. And so I spend a lot of time with artists and entrepreneurs. Those are my people. And I organize an artist group in Portland called Letter PDX, which is dedicated to hand lettering. And right now there's a lot of protest art happening. So super cool.
Wow, very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to both of you. And this is just going to be a chat between girlfriends, super laid back. And we start every show out with a Tears and Tulle moment. So we all have these Tears and Tulle moments in life. And for those of you who are just joining us now, who might not know even what the Tears and Tulle movement is, it is a project that follows a rainbow tulle skirt to the homes of 52 women in 52 weeks across the United States and Canada, each woman sharing their story and photos of their skirt, each pairing it with something black to represent their ability to show up from within the struggles of life to reconnect with their color. And Laura and Lauren were both original Tears and Tulle participants. So the Tears and Tulle moments, which we call the even when, especially then moments in life, go something like this. So you say something positive or something that you love about yourself, something happy, and then you pair it with a tears moment, which is the even when. So even when those unexpected detours happen. And then we end that sentence with especially then, because we need to see that especially then. So I'm going to ask each of you what your Tears and Tulle moments are right now. And we can start with Laura.
So mine is, I am stylish even when I'm wearing sweatpants on the bottom and a really nice shirt on top on Zoom, especially then.
Especially then. Is that happening right now?
It's not happening right now, but even if it was, I would not admit it.
We will never know. I love that. I love that. And yours, Lauren?
I'll say I am capable even when I have a total perfectionist, workaholic freak out like I did this past week. Especially then.
Especially then. Oh my gosh, those are both great, you guys. All right, so we are going to dive into your experience with the skirt. So you received the original rainbow skirt that's traveling, and you two had them back to back. So that was really exciting to see friends have them back to back. And when I received both of your pictures, they were both just so enchanting and beautiful, and you both had such different things to say about your experience. So I would love to hear how you felt from the moment that box arrived at your home to the moment that you sent it off to the next participant on the list. So we'll start with Lauren again.
With me?
Yes.
Okay. Lauren is.
I know.
Classic.
So for me, well, first of all, I was so, again, just honored that you asked for us to participate. And because I remember seeing pictures of you in the skirt. I can't remember if I saw them, when we met in Palm Springs or if it was on social media later. And I thought, like, that skirt is pretty extraordinary. And you just looked so radiant and beautiful in it. And then when you told us about your project and the idea behind it, I just thought, gosh, I just love everything about this and what Gina is trying to create here. So I definitely wanted to be a part of it. When it arrived, I think the first thing I thought was, oh, this is a really big box. But then when I opened it and started taking the skirt out, it was like this magnificent, enchanting, magical clown car of like beautiful, colorful rainbow. Like it just kept coming and coming and coming, and it didn't stop. Like, how did all of that? Like, the box is big, but it's not as big as the skirt is. The skirt like somehow compresses itself into this box, and it's it's very light, and it's just like this cacophony of beautiful color. I actually like put this behind me today as sort of a tribute to to the rainbow skirt. But it's just, so you take it out and it's just like, and it's a little tangled and it's a little messy, but it's also really beautiful. And I thought that was such a great metaphor for life. Like, that there is a lot of messiness. It's not perfect. It's not like, not everything is neat and orderly, but still there's so much beauty in it. And so then it was, I first put it on and thought, wow, like I feel like a princess. This, you swish around and it's really fun. And then I had actually decided to do like a photo shoot with a photographer that I know who I think is amazing. His name is Boone Rodriguez, and he's based in Portland. And so we went to Palm Springs to do this photo shoot. And I just thought, I just want to like go out into the desert with this thing and just like be this crazy rainbow tulle skirt in the middle of the desert. And so we went to Joshua Tree and we photographed it there in a bunch of places. I also had gotten this Airbnb that was like this octagonal house that was all glass, and so that was also like a really cool like backdrop as well. So we took pictures of it there as well. But I think all the ones you saw were the ones that were at Joshua Tree. But when we were in Joshua Tree, we were there around sunset, so it was really beautiful light. So we were able to capture all of that. And the skirt actually kept picking up all of these like little tumbleweeds that were everywhere. So it's like a tumbleweed attractor. And so by the end of the photo shoot, I had literally thousands of like little like twigs in the skirt. And so and then I spent probably, no word of a lie, 6 hours taking every little piece of the tumbleweed out of the skirt before I could send it on to to the next amazing participant, lovely Lauren. Thank you. So it was quite the endeavor. But again, I just felt like what an amazing metaphor for life as well. Like, you pick up all of these little things along the way, and sometimes they prick you, and sometimes sometimes you see them off, and then like all of the things you need to clean up in your life and everything. And so while I was wearing it in the desert, again, I just felt like it was just so, you just feel magical. You feel beautiful and magical and like just like completely almost otherworldly, and it's just full of artistic beauty. And so then when I finally packed it up again, after I had spent hours taking all the twigs out of the skirt, I again, it was like the clown car, it goes right back in the box, and it's like this little self-contained thing, and then it, you know, goes off to the next person. But I love that. I love that it seems like it's like, you know, it's like think outside the box, right? It comes in this very plain box, and you have no idea what's inside, and then you open it and it is just full of this abundant, magical, beautiful skirt. and so I absolutely enjoyed, like, completely loved the experience, and so thank you again for including us in it. It was really great.
Wow, thank you. I had no idea some of those things happened, and I love the idea of the tumbleweed attractor and how it took like 6 hours, because sometimes life is like that. We think something's going to take like 5 minutes and it takes 6 hours, and I think that's so Tears and Tulle. And then the funny thing is, you talking about the box, I swear that box gets smaller and smaller with every stop. It's like we see how much of this tulle we can push into the box, and each time it arrives somewhere, it's like an explosion of color if it's even bigger than the person before them. So I think there's definite power in the arrival of it, and knowing that you're going to get to play and explore and just be in a different space than normal. So thank you so much for sharing your experience and your heart and all that good stuff. All right, Lauren, I would love to hear your experience when your photos arrived. That one with the black lace tank looked like the cover of Vogue or something. I was just like, oh my goodness, it was just so stunning. So I would love to hear what your experience was like, you know, from the moment it arrived to the moment it left.
Sure. It occurs to me that Laura's story is like tumbleweed and tulle. So maybe there's something there.
Oh my gosh.
That's great, Lauren.
Don't know what to
just
do with
change
that.
the post online to say tumbleweed and tulle.
Yeah, totally. And what was so funny is when Laura sent me the skirt, she kind of prepped me. I thought it was going to be way worse than it was. There was barely any little baby tumbleweed pieces in there, but she said I went in with tweezers and, you know, picked it all out, and I thought, oh no, but it was done with such love you could barely even tell that it was in Joshua Tree. And so I picked out like 3 little, you know, little tiny sticks, and it was good.
Wow.
So my experience, so I had kind of an unexpected, funny experience where I didn't know I was agreeing to be photographed in it. I thought you were asking about Laura. So when I worked for Laura and would kind of help organize some of her projects, I thought, well, of course Laura needs to appear in this amazing skirt. And I didn't realize you wanted me too. And so I will tell you, I am so much more comfortable celebrating other people and putting other people on in front of the camera than myself. And I thought, oh no, what have I done? But then I thought, how could I be upset about this? This is the coolest opportunity. But for me, being in front of the camera was a little anxiety inducing, which is funny because I've been a producer forever and I'm used to being behind the camera and like putting other people in the spotlight. So I thought, okay, this is such an amazing, cool opportunity. Plus, it's a connection I have with Laura. Gina, I adore you. And I thought, Lauren, you got to figure this out. If you're having anxiety about this, figure it out. So I said yes, and I got really nervous, like unreasonably nervous. But then I thought, you know what? I'm going to use this as an opportunity to work with a dear friend of mine whose photography I've loved. In fact, who did some headshots for Laura a few years ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She is someone whose work I've loved. And I thought, now is my time to hire her, like for me. And I trusted her. So I thought, okay, it's going to be fine. So I'm all nervous, but I'm trying to put my trust in my photographer, and it's fine. And she said, well, what kind of concept do you have in mind? And I was like, well, I'm a total city mouse. So I like the idea of rainbow floof meets urban grit. And she said, I have a field for you.
Oh,
I was like, cool, you know, a field. I love it. So I was still nervous, but I'm telling you, when the box arrived and I opened it, it was an instant, this peace and warmth. It's like I could feel you and Cassandra and maybe all the people who'd worn it before. There was something so magical, truly, about it, where I was like, all the nerves went away. And they were major, which is silly, but they were major. They went away, and I was like totally excited. I just was nothing but excited. And so going into the shoot, it was just like a fun creative project, and I had a total blast. And then seeing what Shauna came up with, I was like, that's me. How did you like get that out of me standing in this field? And it was such a fun creative experience. I had a total blast.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
It was great.
You found your field, girl. That was just
Yes.
absolutely. This idea of feeling the love from the skirt,
Yes.
visiting other women. So many of the women who are part of this project have said, and even people who might not necessarily believe or, have said, oh my gosh, it's like it's radiating this
Yes.
loving feeling, like it's coming from someone that just decided to own this moment. And so for both of you, I think that you did decide just to own the moment and show up. And when both of you said yes, I was like, oh my gosh, I actually thought about, I wonder if I can get both of them in the skirt at the same time, like doing their own little thing, because I love your friendship, and I just love the energy that you two radiate. And so I'm so happy that energy from both of you went into the skirt to then go to the next person. And just so you know, so many people are having Tears and Tulle moments while they have the skirt, where they feel some anxiety. They feel like maybe they can't fit this moment of magic into their schedule, or whatever it might be. There are definite nerves there. And so know that you're not alone in that. And both of you just really showed up and helped to sort of blaze this trail for other women. So I appreciate that so much.
One thing I want to say about Lauren's photographs is that, because I know Lauren, I've known her a long time, I know she doesn't like to be photographed, but when I saw those photos of her, I just felt like they captured who she is. Like, just like she has such a stunning, like, inner and outer beauty that, and Lauren, you do hide a little bit. So it was so nice. It was so great to see you in this photograph, like really showing who you are and really owning it. And I loved that.
Thank you so much. You're the best. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
I totally agree with all that.
Thank you. And to see what I got to see, see myself represented that way was, I think I left out the part where I cried. Happy tears. I just thought, this is what happens if I kind of let myself be seen in that way. And so thank you, Laura. And Gina, thank you for the opportunity. Every single person who saw the photo was like, when can I want to wear that? I want to wear that. I was like, it's traveling. It's got a schedule.
It does. It's actually, we have just a couple spots left for season 2 already. So people have already, so it's going to continue to travel. And
awesome.
My husband asked me the other day, he said it has some, how is it holding up? Like, skirts like that usually aren't meant to travel from, airport to airport and truck to truck and person to person. And it is starting to show some wear. And I reached out to the dress designer and I said, when it comes to Florida, do you want to take it and do your magic? And she said something along the lines of, no, I think it should keep traveling as is, because that's part of this, what it's been through, who it's visited. So anyway, it's exciting. On that note, I'm wondering, both of you, I'm wondering, like, saying yes to this, saying yes to the dress, saying yes to this skirt. I'm wondering how you felt about that, or the reasoning why you might have said yes to this type of project, because it isn't just a traveling skirt. The twist is we are pairing it with darkness, basically, or pairing it with something dark so that we could make room for both of those worlds at the same time. show others that they're not alone in that space as well. So starting with Laura, Bravolution, go.
Okay, so yes, as I said earlier, like I'd seen the pictures of you in it. I thought it was an amazing skirt. I loved the idea behind it, because everybody has a story and everybody has a dark side of their story. That is true. No one is immune from that. No one is immune from struggles. And, everyone's struggles are different, but they're their own struggles. And so I really just thought it was amazing how you were pairing those two things together. So not only that, like the skirt, but also wanting to support you because you're a beautiful person and so full of love. And I so appreciate you and feel so blessed to have met you. So I wanted to be in support of what you were doing too. And I just thought it was, your whole premise behind it just made so much sense to me. And for me, like every other person, yes, I have a journey and I have some struggles that I've been through. I couldn't walk for 2 years. That was a pretty big thing for me to have to overcome. And, there's, lots of other stuff too, but there's, as part of like what got me to where I am today, there were so many challenges to overcome to be in this place now. And, and I continue to face them as we all do every day. And it's just a great reminder that, darkness and light, you can't really have one without the other. You need both. They both influence your life. They both help you to grow, and, to celebrate. And so I just thought, what you were creating was really magnificent.
Oh, thank you. And for anyone who is listening right now or is watching the video of this, if you go to ginabell.co and pull up the Tears Tulle page, you can visit, you can watch where the skirt is traveling to, and you'll see the stop it made when it visited Laura. And I had so many people reach out to me and say, oh my gosh, her words were like caramel, or her words were like poetry, or her words just... Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance yet, I would invite you to go look at all the Tears Tulle stories and take a close look at yours, because you really moved a lot of people with what you were sharing. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. And Lauren.
And me. Let's see. So when I said yes, as I said before, I thought I was saying yes to facilitating a photo shoot for Laura. But then I thought, this is a way for me, a beautiful way for me to be brave. And I thought about my good friend and her daughter, who's about 14 years old. And when she's nervous about something, her mom tells her to find her brave. She says, you can find your brave. So I thought of those words, which was so beautiful. And I thought, this will push me in a way that I need to be pushed a little bit. I can't always hide behind the camera, And then I thought, plus it's a connecting, project to you, who I just feel so connected to, and Laura, who's one of my dearest, most amazing friends, and that we have this beautiful shared experience. Let me push myself in the right way, and maybe something new will come out of that. And I was so proud of myself that I did it. Because maybe some people would go, get me in front of the camera, it's a rainbow skirt. Showed me to the world, where I was just but it was, I showed myself that I could do it. And then the beauty that came out of it was stunning. And I was just in awe. And so I feel like I said yes, mostly because being connected to Laura and to you and to having that experience, I wanted that. And I knew I would figure out the nervous stuff.
Wow. So while you were standing at your photo shoot location, where does that yes come from in that spot? Where do you feel that yes? Just being out there and having the dress on and wearing the black lace tank.
Just kind of a levity and a playfulness Because when I was in this field, and what was so Shauna had a vision that I wasn't even aware of taking the photos as the sun was setting. So, seeing the moon and the back was so cool. But basically just feeling like I'm just going to play with the skirt and floof it up, and I don't have to like pose in these very intentional ways. I'm kind of just hanging out. And then people were driving by and honking, and people were walking by like, what is going on? So I guess just it felt like instead of all eyes on me, you have to do the right thing. It was like, hey, I'm just hanging out with my friend and we're playing and I'm standing in a field and it's delightful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. Did both of you realize you were going to do your shoots at sunset? Like, did you plan that to both do them? Well, because you were both sunsetting, right? It wasn't, it was both sunsetting. One wasn't sun rising, right? Both sunsetting.
Yeah, no, we didn't plan that. And that was like the photo for me. And it sounds like also for Lauren as well. It was the photographer's vision more than it was ours.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Like, that just occurred to me that we both did that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another participant that's done that, and I don't think there has been. So it's interesting that you two were friends and back-to-back with separate photographers, and that all worked out.
Fascinating.
I love that. And I love too that even though it was the two different sort of like moods and approaches, like mine was sort of like the darker, and then yours was so warm and full of light. So that's so cool.
Yes. There was like a yin yang Tears Tulle, like back-to-back sisterhood happening with both of your experiences.
It's true.
All right. So right now in the world, so much is happening. There's been a pandemic, and there's a fight for justice right now that's happening, and just so many things in the world that are different than what we were experiencing when we met in Palm Springs. Like, a lot has changed, and so I'm curious, who right now in the world is inspiring the two of you? And we can go ahead and start with Laura.
Honestly, right now, I'm feeling very inspired by all of the parents who are working at home and also educating their children at home. I'm not one of those people. I can barely hold it together with being a single person and my job during a pandemic. I don't know how those people do it. And I just am absolutely in awe of anybody doing that, because I can't even imagine having to take care of your kids, educate your kids, get on Zoom for your own meetings, prepare meals, try to scavenge to find things when resources are scarce at the grocery stores. So those are the people who are inspiring me right now, honestly.
Awesome. Yes, me as well. My kids are 16 to 23 right now, so they can make a pizza and they can kind of do their own thing a little bit. But I've been thinking about that a lot lately too. So thank you for sharing that.
I guess the other thing I would say too, Gina, is it's really, if that's the first thing that comes to mind for me, because I've been surrounded by people just in my own life who are in that situation, and I know how overwhelming it is for them, and they still manage to get things done every day, which is amazing. But there's so many people to be inspired by right now, like all of the people involved in the Black Lives Matter movement. There's everything that's going on with people who are helping people in need who have lost their jobs, people who are hungry, and who are the people who are going out and helping to feed those people. I mean, there is a lot of darkness right now, but there is also a lot of light right now when you think about all of the extraordinary people who are stepping up and showing how much love they have for their fellow human beings. So that's the other thing I would add.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You just made me think of Mr. Rogers and his mom, where she said, find the helpers when there's darkness, just to find the helpers. And I think if you do that, there's hope in these spaces. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Lauren?
I find a lot of inspiration from the little people in my life. I am not a parent, but I know a lot of children who are almost like nieces and nephews to me. And their just inherent love and light and warmth is so amazing and beautiful, because it wouldn't even occur to them to be intolerant. They don't know. They're just confused by anybody who might treat somebody differently based on, say, the color of their skin. They don't understand. And that's beautiful because it doesn't make any sense. So I think just there, it's been amazing in Portland. I saw some school age kids like had little like kid version of protests. Like they had little like parades where they made signs. And bless them for using their voices and wanting to say something in the way that they can. So I often look to young people to just, be really inspired in that way, because they're just, and the optimism too. Like it can be so hard sometimes.
Oh no.
Oh, I got kicked out. Sorry.
Oh, there you are.
You're back.
I think my internet connection kicked me out.
Well, you came right back to us. So
yeah, I'm back.
We are good. And what's awesome is because I have both of you on, it won't stop the recording and start over. So it worked out perfect for this moment. So we're okay. All right, so I would love to tell anyone watching this or any of our listeners how they can find you two, where you're at in the world right now, if you have anything that you want to share that you have coming up or that you have going on, or maybe just a Instagram account or something where people can reach out to learn more about the two of you. And you can go ahead and start, Laura.
So you can go to my website, which is bravolution.com. We're also on Instagram at Bravolution and Facebook at the Bravolution. So yeah, we have a pretty modest following, but you can find us there, and we'd love if you would follow us. Thank you.
Yeah, if you go to Laura's Instagram account, I don't know if it's still up, you'll have to tell me, but the week that we met, there's a video on there of you doing a demonstration with a cantaloupe, I believe, and Lauren was there too. Was it a cantaloupe? Was it a cantaloupe? Okay, yeah, it was a cantaloupe. And I was like, oh my gosh, everything I thought was, was completely different at that moment, regarding bras and sizing and just everything. So if you go to Laura's page, you can see that video and get a better idea of what I'm talking about. I
should also mention that I have a TED Talk too. So there's if you go to the TED website, you can see my TED Talk. Just Laura Tempesta. If you search Laura Tempesta, you can find it. It's about bras, everything you want to know about bras and TED Talk.
The TED Talk is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite TED Talks ever. So
thank you, Gina.
Yes, please go and check that out. All right, Miss Lauren.
Yes. Where can we find me? So work related, I'm the brand and culture manager at Calvera Skincare, and it's Kalvera skincare.com. And I guess I'm on Twitter a bunch. It's a lot of like Portland entrepreneurs, startup-y type of people hang out there. And my handle is #ZY. So the word double and then ZY. And on Instagram, it is the ZYZY. And that is because I have 2 ZYs sandwiched in the middle of my last name.
Very cool. Thank you. Well, thank you both for being with us today. I was so excited to come on and get to catch up with you guys. So thank you for sharing your hearts and sharing your experiences. And I look forward to catching up again soon.
Thank you, Gina.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.